The Halfbrick Show.
Welcome back to the Halfbrick Show. This week we are continuing with part 2 of our Coach Dave chat and interview. And of course, we will answer some of your most pressing questions. I think that we'll jump straight back into it, but as always, I'm Carmen. I'm joined here by Aiden. So let's get into it.
Okay, so on the thrill space then, I've got a couple of questions I think the listeners might want to hear. Just for a brief recap, can you tell everyone what you've been working on at the moment, which I guess also leads into what Thrill's been doing at the moment?
Yeah, so me personally, when it comes to, if you guys don't know what I do, inside of Thrill, my core job is connecting a very large audience of fighters and connecting and filtering all that the feedback and all the info that we get back from them, and making sure that what's translated to the game is valuable. It's not just an emotional mess that we're kind of going left and right. It all makes sense and it fits. So that's my job is bridging that gap between the user and us as developers that have to build this behind the scenes. So that's what I do on a day-to-day. I try to just build relationships. I try to connect to the viewer, and luckily it's genuine. Like I'm genuinely just trying to connect to you. Like I care about your improvement. I care if you get better at the game, then I get better, and if the game gets better, then we get better, and that sounds great. So that's the kind of the goal, right? But that's what I do on a day to day. I make videos and I connect to the viewer. I provide value, whether it's education through here's how to throw a punch, here's what you should do, here's what you shouldn't do. I'm highlighting community members, any way that we can let the community know that we're around, and we're here, and that's what I do on a day to day. I'm always around.
And that's no small service to do that. I think, and you said you see all those stories of people's changes through the game as well. I've seen a few of those in the reviews as well. There's some really heartfelt reviews in there. That's just really cool.
Yeah. And then every so often I get a YouTube comment that's just like, hey, thanks so much for breaking that down. I'm just a VR boxer. I've never been to a gym. I don't even know what left hand, right hand is. Like that kind of message, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. And if you never set foot in a boxing gym, you just so many things you don't know. And if you go down the wrong path too long, you build muscle memory down the wrong path. And so that's what really gets me. Like, so if you're one of the Coach Dave guys, like, leave a comment because I genuinely read them all. I go through them all. Yeah, you're right. Those comments are like genuinely worth it. Like the guys are like, hey, thanks so much for breaking down a jab. Like, what? A jab is my front hand? Thank you so much for telling me because no one told me. Like that kind of stuff. It's so basic, but I guess no one thinks that to even go over it because how basic it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the last person from the Thrill team that we talked to was Tren. And ever since he came to the podcast, there has been some very big updates, I think, to Thrill. So can you give us some highlights?
Highlights. Some big highlights is, I would say, coming in the next... So something that just passed, we have a shop that just came out, which is amazing. That's something that the fans have been asking for since... I'm fans, by the way, that have been asking for since the beginning of time. It just allows the user to express themselves. And like everybody likes, like boxing is very, I mean, if you go watch a boxing fight, they're coming out with their robe and their diamonds and their thing. And it's very much a self-expression, and allowing the player to do that is just awesome. So yeah, we have a big update. That was literally last week, which is... In my head, it was...
Actually feels like it's been longer.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that too, right? Because in my head, it's 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was last week. So I'm like, oh, whoa. Okay, well, that was fast. But yeah, so a big update when Thrill the Fight was an entire... You can buy Fitz. If you don't know, the solo developer of Thrill 1, his last name is Fitz. That's where the Fitz gym comes from.
Oh, Ian. Yeah.
Yeah, Ian. And you could buy Fitz gear, which it's amazing. It's like representing like the home gym. That's what it reminds me of. Like you're representing your home, like your gym. And that's what it reminds me of. So you can go in there, you can buy Fitz gear, you can buy Halfbrick gear, which is super popular. It's beautiful white and gold gloves, the best. And then you can buy Puma gear. There's some higher end brands in there too. So, the Puma stuff is big. You can buy bundles, and it all looks so nice. I hate that I always sound like I'm selling it. Like I shouldn't have worn the hat. I should have got a different hat.
No, they look so good as well. Like, shout out to Pedro, I think, who was one of the artists that worked on it. It just looks so good. It looks.
Mm.
I mean, I don't want to say that Thrill is now a dress-up game, but it kind of is for people like
Give
me.
us a battle pass. Give us a. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No.
No, it just allows the player.
Tastefully.
Yeah, for sure. And if it's tough because the realism of it is that a fighting game is for instance, I was a professional fighter. I fought professionally. If you guys don't know, I fought for a very long time. From when I was a teenager, I trained in gyms. I taught class. I'd never had a real job. I went right into coaching, right into fighting my entire life, and that was just it. Now I work for Halfbrick. What are the odds? In the fighting game. Anyway, so that was my whole like upbringing is fighting. So I have some some experience in it. But I'm trying to find a better way to word this. Let's see. If I come back to it, I'll bring it up. Yeah. But
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
find a proper way to say it.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to find a proper way to answer the next question, which is Aiden and I had a bet about this. So we've spoken to Dren, as I said before. Wow. Who would win, or who wins actually in a fight against you two?
Yeah, surely there's been
or who has won the most, right? Because I imagine that you two fight against each other. Quite a lot.
It's funny. I think we've only ever properly fought twice ever, like twice.
Who won?
It was 1-1. But I will say he won the better version. So this is how awesome VR fighting is. If you don't know, it's not just a game. There's communities. There's leagues. There's events. Like think about like a UFC event or like a boxing fight where there's a card, there's undercards, and they're hosting it, and there's viewers and everything. Like that happens in VR. So it's a pretty insane thing that we haven't even touched on yet, which is insane. It's not just like a game. Yeah. It's like a thing, which is nuts. So anyway, I'll be real quick on my story. I was laying down on my couch. It was like 9:30 at night, and there was a tournament going on, and Trent's opponent backed out, and they tagged me as a joke. They're like, "Dave, come in here and fight Trent real fast." And that's how we fought. It was the first time we ever properly fought. Was on an event live in front of everyone.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was he won the important one. So he won that one. So it was
okay.
But it's so much fun. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm sitting around with my kids on my couch, and then like within 10 minutes, I'm in front of 85 people in virtual reality, trying not to get beat up. Like,
yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, I'm back on my couch, just a sweaty pool of mess, and just smiling. Like, that's how we're working out is, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar to that. There would be days that you have like bad days. You're like, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Girlfriend made 100%. You mad. Some guy cut you off, or whatever. And then you go to the gym, and then after you're just like, that stuff didn't even happen today, I guess. But that's yeah. Like you just forget. Maybe it was a fighting gym. Maybe the fighting gyms did that, where you could release a lot more stress than a normal gym. But
no, I think it's a pretty maybe not universal. I can't speak because I haven't really done a fighting gym. But I used to actually play Beat Saber as exercise. So VR exercise isn't new to me in that sense.
Yeah.
And even that felt a little cathartic somehow. And you're just slicing boxes in that game. So
it's so silly because whenever you see it and you hear it, it's real. Like for that moment, and whenever you're moving, it's like so real. And but then if someone like walks in on you and it's just silent, you look like a crazy person. But it's so immersed. Like when you're in it, you're like, man, I don't even know the difference.
Yeah, I think that's a good goal as well to have. And I don't know, you got straight into the VR fitness obviously before joining Halfbrick, but I think it's a nice character growth moment to be completely okay with just throwing your punches in VR, like, and showing that to people, like, because you got to show them the form, you got to be on camera.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, I respect it immensely, and if we ever do that series, I will be hesitant to start. I can guarantee it. But
even me, with like all the muscle memory I have, and I'll brag about myself. I taught for a long time, so I learned foundation for a long time, so I know basics very well. I could perfectly mimic a perfect boxer. My style is not perfect, but the perfect boxer I can mimic. If that makes any sense. Like, but like my whole point of it all is that it's such a different experience. Like whenever, like if you're playing, it's going to be very different than I'm playing, and that's intense.
Guarantee that.
Like, but it's just so different. It's just so different. So like even for me, like whenever I'm playing, I'm like I have a lot of footage where I'm on film throwing punches at a ghost, and when you just see the footage, it looks wild. And there was some, just for the sake of thrill content, I've done some things outdoors. There was once I did a video at a beach where I did mixed reality fighting. At a beach.
I've seen that one. Yep.
just the
Yeah.
craziest person on the beach that day. It's just, you
Yeah.
know, and that's how it feels because you're just like, no one knows, like no one gets it, you know? And you're
Feels like
just-
something you see in like a GTA trailer or something like that. Someone
Yeah,
in VR on the beach. Like
that's the
just-
100% going to happen. That's going to be a NPC somewhere.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I think it's impressive. I respect it. And one day I'm sure there'll be footage of every Halfbrick team member punching the air.
I tried. I don't know if you saw some of the sessions. I like some of the developers. I'm like, let's just do 3 rounds. We'll fight for YouTube. Real casual. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah.
I only got like 3 or 4 of them to agree. But
It'll be
I'll
great.
keep on
Just set
trying
up
it.
that camera.
Yeah, it's fine. Just make sure you hydrate, get good sleep.
Yeah. Okay, well, when you're in those fights, sorry, I get so off topic. It's so easy to go on tangents when we talk about this stuff. It's
No,
crazy.
if anything, that's the better, you know.
I think it's nice, yeah. But I did want to know, back on the shop, I actually want to know what your go-to gear was from the new shop update.
It's definitely fits. It was
It
the first
fits?
thing I got, and I haven't taken it off. For me, I like the other stuff. Don't get me wrong. For me, the Puma Reds like shine like nothing else, especially in the new venue. We have a new venue with the new gear. Oh, it looks
Philly
amazing.
Parkway?
Yeah, Philly Parkway with the new red Puma gloves. It looks insane. You can see the texture on the gloves, and it's just insane. But fits, and fits could be pink and yellow, and I'd wear fits. It's just
Nice.
to me, it feels like the home gym. It feels like this is like the one I'm representing, and this is like the stuff I'll wear. You know, so it's kind of like my hat. I wear my hat everywhere.
Yeah. So it's like what Fit stands for, that gear to you. What it means to you.
Yeah. It feels like it's like a nod to the original. It's a nod to what like where we come, and like that's what I feel like. There were some gyms where whenever I was fighting, I kind of briefed on the Super Dave story, but like I did a lot of things. Like I worked in gyms, so like but I worked in gyms where we were 10 members, in a place in Houston.
Yeah.
And then we have fighters in the UFC and multi-million-dollar gyms. So like I've worked in all of them, and I've been in all the places, so I know very much what it's like to like be in a gym where like, how are we going to pay the light bill? We have like 10 members. We're trying to make this work. These guys like, and we're just trying to like make it work. So I've been there, and I've been like in that rugged home gym, and that's what it reminds me of. Like Fitz reminds me of like a rugged home gym, where it's like this is like his dad owned it, and then his dad owned it, and then his dad owned it, and they were struggling all these generations, but the gym's open for the kids down the street. That's what it reminds me of. So
Yeah, okay, I see.
yeah. So I rep. That was my long answer to what gear do I wear, but
That's pretty special. I like
the
to think
fits.
one day, I don't know if it's a Thrill 2 thing. I definitely can't speak for the dev team at all. Maybe it's Thrill 3 or whatever. But I like to think one day kids can get that experience in some kind of communal thrill space before the matches. I'm not talking a particular thing, but just that same vibe. I think we could offer that with Thrill.
No, for sure. I think having a virtual reality gym environment is very real. Like when I load into the main menu of the game, in my head I see it like we've touched base on this too behind the scenes, where it's not like it's in the works, but we were like, oh, this is amazing. We definitely need to pursue this.
Yeah.
But having like, if I were to get in my car and go to the gym, I would walk into the front doors of the gym, and there would be people there, and it would be like alive. So that would be amazing, right? Like imagine if Coach Dave had a gym inside of the game, and if I invite you to my gym, you would virtually show up. We would have the punching bags. We can kind of be on
You're
mics
just there
and
on the bag or
we're just
something like
chilling,
that when we
having a
come
good
in
time.
there.
Yeah.
It's like,
That would be
yeah,
cool.
and then imagine that times like maybe you show up to the gym and there's 2 guys already fighting in the ring, and you can kind of like proximity chat here them, right? So you're kind of like, hey, what's up, guys? Like that seems like, oh my god, I'll never leave anywhere. I'll be connected like Neo from the Matrix. Get me out of here. So
Like ready.
yeah, I already don't leave my house, so now like that gives me more reason to. There was
You'd probably find players like sleeping on the mat in the gym or something like
you find players sleeping in the gym, like in a real gym, like you're just waiting for class to start. No,
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And so whenever you say that, 100%, like giving the kids somewhere to go and somewhere to hang out, and even like virtual influences. I know that sounds funny, but like virtual. If I act like an idiot online and Coach Dave acts dumb, the kids will think it's cool to act dumb. It's cool, there's that. So there's that. You can start having like role models inside of these gyms and start like really building something, which is, I feel like my heart's beating fast because how exciting it is, because the future, right? But yeah. So whenever you say that, that's what I think about.
Oh, I'm getting nostalgic, and I've never even lived it.
Yeah, no, it is nice. You start to go to the gym for the people, not necessarily for the the gym.
Yeah.
Especially in the fighting gyms are very much like that.
That's beautiful, I think, the sense of community.
Mm-hmm. No, for
And
sure.
speaking of community, such a good segue, I know. I'm sure that the community would appreciate if you have any sneak peeks or drops that you can share with us for what's coming next to the game. If you can and
I'm gonna
are,
spoil everything.
allowed to.
No, allowed to. Tran might yell at me. No. For the future, I think what will be really fun is expanding more on those. We just put in Puma, like we have name brands, but really expanding on that. Boxing has a very, very core group of brands that are very familiar, and getting other brands in there would be really cool. Not only for me as a fight fan to kind of see different brands and have different ways to kind of show my own charisma, but just the different brands would be cool inside of the game. I think that's something that we're currently in the works in. No brands are, it's not this or that just yet, but it's definitely something that we're searching out for, which is exciting to me. And if you are a boxing fan, if you're someone that gets the game, you understand whenever I say we're working on a high guard system. So like if you're a fan of someone like Canelo Alvarez, say someone that puts his hands up right up to his head and just kind of marches you down and just tanks you down. Whenever you have a headset on your head and you have cameras that are responsible of tracking, it's really hard to cover that up. And then you kind of like my hat here, you have like a space, and you can't close that space, and it kind of gets weird. So if you what's called answering the phone, you put your hand to your ear to block a hook. There's space, and we're trying to conquer that. Really give the person power, eliminate that space because if there's space, then punches can get through, and it's not good. So I'm fully covered, but then you're just not because there's space. So if you're a boxing fan, that's something that in a perfect world, 3 to 4 weeks out. I got to play with it in the last couple days, and it is amazing. Like, it is amazing, and it just changes the game a little bit because it allows, like, if you're a inside fighter, it gives you an entire section of the game that you can play. It's kind of like being an outside fighter right now. If you play VR, a jab isn't physical. An outside fighter is used to pumping a jab out and keeping that rangefinder there, but in VR, he doesn't have that. So now we have to find different ways to kind of give him the power back. So this is that, right? So VR is causing a limitation, and we're countering it. So it's super exciting to be able to do that, to be aware
like
and then do it. So it's amazing.
Dang. Yeah. I feel like we touched on this when we spoke to Tren, but there are so many aspects of this that have probably gone over my head, but like the math, just
the lack of
figuring it out is crazy. Yeah. I mean, like kickboxers probably want to kick and have that tracked. You know what I mean? Like, that's just there's clear limitations, but yeah, to have what we have, crazy.
And then we're also lucky enough to be spearheading. It sounds like I'm being dramatic, but spearheading the evolution of VR boxing.
Ooh.
Like we are the forefront. Like we are laying down the steps. So we are doing it all. Like no one's in front of us, and there's no blueprint, and that's exciting. Like it's the beginning.
That's huge. That's big.
It's the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously there's a roadmap as well, actually, for the listeners. I do love sharing that roadmap with people if interested as well in the support space. So, yeah, there's a Thrill website as well. The Thrill Discord is probably a good one to shout out if you're an interested listener. The people there are super passionate. Coach Dave, obviously, you just said you're there. You and Tren chatting there all the time. I know this as well. It's a good place, and so many communities, like you said, the events and all the players that running those as well.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's huge. I really do feel like we're glazing it so much, but it's good.
No, if I was as round as a ball and I was telling you I'm in the best shape of my life, I would have some concern. But
that's true.
The proof's in the pudding. I have great cardio.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all the children I have and all the running around I have to do, but it's for sure a little bit of thrill. So yeah, no, it's whenever I joined Halfbrick, I worked for myself. I didn't have to do anything or go anywhere. Like I was fine. So when I jumped on this team, I was very adamant about no, it's raw. It's exactly what I am. Like I am me. This is it. I have the education. We're gonna back it by the education. There's no BS involved. Like I'm not gonna play the game. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna get the progress done. And I'm not interested in the BS. I was very
and you've already done a bit of that. That's great.
And that's how we all like that. That's literally how I feel like we all are in it. And it's just like we're all just ready to go. Like we're all just on fire. Like Tren, he's messaging me like when I'm waking up, and he's in Australia. I'm like, dude, it's 3 a.m. Get out of my face. Like, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Oh, I got this. You go to sleep now. And it's just, and then when I'm like, just the other day, I was up like at 4:30 in the morning, like a grandpa. And I was already like on it, already on Discord, kind of responding to stuff and kind of doing my thing. And he was like, "Up late, or are you up late or up early?" Like because we're just unsure if we just haven't stopped or are we started early, because we're just like always on it. And luckily, like we're enjoying it. It's not like we're I'm a crazy person. I like the push. I like the go, and so does he, and so does a lot of other people on the team. So it's fun.
Yeah, I don't think you could ask for any better team than if you're for this type of game. Well, I guess any game, but especially these type of games. You want people that drive.
Yeah, I of course I'll brag about that, because Halfbrick hired the people in the community. They hired us, people that
that's right.
have love for it, the people that were already grinding away, people that love it to begin with. And I don't feel like I'm showing up to work. Like last night, Trent was like, "Hey, can you jump in, load in the game, and test something out for me?" Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't be around if it was BS. I wouldn't be around if it was wasting anyone's time or trying to put a blanket over your face or something like that. I would be doing something else. So yeah, I'm very happy to be a part of an authentic team. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to test, not the team, just you. I'm going to test you with couple of quick little, we got our usual games that we do towards the end. We got guess the community comment. I don't know if you saw this one in the Trend episode, but basically we'll troll through socials and we'll try and find a comment, or we might make one up, right? And try and make it sound as real as possible. And I guess we just want to see how well you know your comments and your community.
Ooh. Is this Thrill community or Halfbrick community?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? No, we try to keep it. We try to keep it adjacent to the game that a team member's working on, right? So, for you, it's Thrill related. Let's say.
Okay. I'm still gonna. Okay.
But whether or not it came from the Halfbrick channel or the Thrill channel, or it's made up, that is up for you to decide. You don't have to tell us which channel. You just have to tell us if it's real or fake. Okay. There's no prize other than pride.
Well, my hands are sweating, so you
bragging
tell my hands.
rights.
Bragging rights, yes. All right, I'll read it. I'll read it just word for word, and I'll describe the emojis for you if there are any. All right. So, your comment is quote: "If no one else got me," and then face holding back tears emoji. I don't know if you know the one. It's like the pleading emoji. Yep, it's around. I know mirror mode me got me. Right, because obviously mirror modes wasn't updated recently.
Us. That has to be someone in our community.
That's real. You saying real?
Final answer, real.
It's fake. It's fake.
We got sampled in the last episode, so it's really nice.
God, I even heard it in like a little kid teenage accent, like in like a snarky. That was good.
I had a good feeling about that one. I knew that one would get you.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Because mirror mode, it's like a deep cut. It's like you have to know a little bit.
Yeah. That's what I think. We've slowly just turned this show into Carmen and I testing how good we can write fake comments.
Yeah, so you can put it at the front.
Yeah, we're slowly becoming YouTube bots. That's what we're doing.
You're reverse engineering yourself as a YouTube bot. That's wild.
Yeah. Congratulations, though. That was a good. It was a hard one. When you start at the sentence.
Sorry, I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just going to say that someday they will use our brains to train YouTube bots. That's how good we're going to get. They will train an AI specifically destined towards answering YouTube comments. And it will be made with our brains in mind.
That's going to be like in 6 months, by the way.
Yeah. That's the secret project. We can talk about. We have sold our souls for that.
Yep. It's only a matter of time, guys. Sorry. Coach Dave is going to be robotic. I joke about it all the time. I was like, at some point, I'm just going to be AI Coach Dave at stand-up. You're not even going to know. I'm just going to show up. Just going to be like, hey, guys. And just same old.
Yeah, like you're just playing Thrill while you're in a work meeting. You're not actually in the work meeting.
Just yelling from across the room responses. But whenever you started your comment, the second you started your comment, I was like, he's lying. Look at him. And I should have went with my gut. My gut told me it was
that gut feeling, yeah.
But then you tricked me.
I couldn't maintain eye contact. Maybe
that's why. That's why you buckled for a second. I'm like, oh, that's it. But then you came in with a genuine comment. I was like, this is someone in our Discord.
I was very proud of that one because it's probably something I would have commented if I was talking about mirror mode.
The community is very silly. Like and they know the inside jokes and they know like deep down like what's going on, so they know how to really get it. They're really slick about it.
I've seen some crazy jokes in that community.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The memes on Thrill 2. Can we actually acknowledge that Thrill 2 actually got a bit of like a meme pickup? I saw it, like I watch meme channels, right, from time to time, just like meme compilations or shorts or whatever. I saw Thrill Fight 2 in those, and I could see like the Halfbrick logo on the ring floor.
Yeah.
And that was surreal to me.
Like top 5 VR moments or something, and it was like all.
Well,
like,
you'd see the one where you got the guy who's like throws the fake punch and then like points over, and then you look over there, and then he's like turned around the same.
That has to be one of the most misconceiving things that I ever thought Thrill the Fight 2 would become. Like a environment for role play content. Like what?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that works. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Maybe Carmen, you and I should record an episode one time just as our Thrill avatars.
It's so good. That would be so good. And then we can just punch the air a little bit, because I'm sure that you would destroy me for some reason. I don't want to.
I don't think. I feel like you would beat me in Thrill 2. I don't think.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, we will settle that in the ring.
Depends on the accumulated rage that I've got in me that day, I think.
So you got to wait till like a Thursday or like a Friday or something. Let it really build up throughout the week.
Yes, I feel like you would probably beat me on a Monday, but maybe on a Friday I have the upper hand. I don't know. We'll have to test it out.
We're saying this as a joke, but yeah, definitely should.
We really should.
You record it, I'll edit it and post it. Don't worry about it. I'll make it easy.
I think that's an offer that we can refuse. I think that we have to do it now.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Speaking of comments, I have one which is most definitely true, and it's also our next question, which is, where is Dan the Man 2?
I need to ask someone too, to be honest, because ever since I've been the face of Thrill on the socials, and then I kind of showed my face on the Halfbrick stuff, I get DMs asking me personally, "Where's Dan the Man 2?" So I'll search around for everyone.
Okay, thank you.
I'll ask.
Thank you.
Yeah, if someone can find him, it's you.
Yep.
I trust you.
At the very least, I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll
check
least
the
find
virtual gyms. We'll check somewhere else.
Every guest.
We'll check everything. We'll keep asking the guests. Yeah.
It's hilarious. I don't think I've on TikTok, if I post anything about Thrill, there's someone asking me about voice chat, about putting voice chat in the game, and then if I post anything on the Halfbrick page, it's Dan the Man. I get it. Reminds me of like the Thrill process. I guess before I was involved, it was just like, what are you talking about? Like, fix the damage now? Like, what are you doing? And then when you get involved, you're like, oh my God, there's so many things moving back here. And if you move one thing, then all the 99 other things move. You're like, all right, well, put that back. I gotta. Yeah. And that's kind of like how, I guess, what I'm even learning behind the scenes of it. It's not exactly, plain and dry and black and white. So
it's tricky.
Even for me, I'm learning that process too.
I think that helps with the humility, though, I think, to a degree, especially when, like, when the game launched in early access, the customer support team, which, for those who don't know, it's a little small at Halfbrick. We try to keep it small. Halfbrick's focus is good games first and making good games. So we're there to support, but we don't have like an army of customer support people. It's just not the focus of the company. And we came on to, I was like, yeah, I'll do the Thrill comments. I'll do the Thrill reviews. I'll reply to everyone on the Meta storefront. That did not last as long as I thought it would.
Oh, it's endless.
It became out of the question. We'd be there every day. But I think there's just, it's one of those things where I understand where people come from to some degree, but also when you're on this side, you're like, okay, I know the team's working on these things, and you can say it to a degree. You can say what's being worked on, but then when we actually get to an update and I get to go back to reviews and be like, hey, we've added this, that is the best feeling.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there are those wins, even in the review space.
For sure. And then just being able to, the best thing for me, I know it doesn't sound like a win, but for me it is. If like I'll get comments and they're like, like for instance, before the shop, like, this game would be perfect if there was cosmetics in it. And you're like 2 days away from launching. You're like, oh my God. Yeah, wouldn't it? It'd be really cool, wouldn't it be? And so like there's moments like that too where you're like, nice. Like you're begging for something and like I'm finishing it up. I'm doing the final copy right now. So it's just, there's moments like that where like the yin to that yang. Where there is a finish line and we can see it and we're about to hand it to you. So it's nice.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I should get to the final thought question. But I should just put a quick disclaimer that I do still read the Thrill of Fight 2 store reviews in case people think I just admitted we don't read reviews. We do still. I just don't reply to a lot of the similar ones purely for the time thing. And I don't want to hit people with the same response because then that looks disingenuous as well.
Yeah,
So-
and unless you have something to really hand to them, not just like, I'm so
That's
sorry
it.
about your experience. You're like, all right, well,
Yeah.
thanks. Until we have something that's like, hey, here's something that here's an answer to your problem or whatever it is. Luckily, that's where like the social media stuff comes into play. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I can't exactly respond to every single person complaining about damage, but I could make a video that it's going to reach a couple thousand people where I'm going to comment about damage. So,
And then that can reach further and further. Yeah.
at least slowly bridge that gap from the people that feel like they're being unanswered or whatever
Yeah.
it is. So.
Yeah, and I think it's just a balance. So that final question, though, for you is a big one and maybe unique for you. So in the games industry specifically, which sounds like for you is like Halfbrick's the first games industry role.
Mhm.
So what's one thing that you learned about working in games that wasn't in the perceived job description for you?
I would say my job, not my job, but a good chunk of my job is connecting to the player base. But I guess I underestimated the reverse part of that, like connecting to the developer, because I need to talk to them too, and I need to we need to have a great relationship too, and I need to be able to like not waste your time and tell you what you need to tell you in the most accurate way possible. So I guess I didn't see that part of the relationship, like I saw this part. This is easy. I'm used to being a coach. Like I know how to talk to people in this environment. But the other, like, now I have that, like I have all this knowledge and information. And I'm just like, hey, you guy I just met, and I don't know how you work. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I don't know how you develop. I know the word. I don't know what you're doing. So that side of it, like building that side, like I don't know that side. And I know fighting very well. I don't know developing at all. So so that side, like communicating and bridging that gap was a big one. Building relationships with, it sounds so dumb when I say it out loud. Building relationships with coworkers is not something I'm used to. So I never had coworkers or like I had like teammates or something or like a coach that was coaching next to me or something. But so bridging that, like having a relationship like that is different. It kind of taught me a lot of things. Like, oh, I got to look at it inside too. I thought it was just gonna be like that, but no.
Like they just give you just see an external update, talk about that, but now you're in the workings of the game from time to time as well, obviously.
Well, I guess I underestimated the explanation of certain boxing techniques. Like maybe I could walk through it in my sleep, but George in development maybe has no fighting experience, and he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, well, I gotta make that foundation. I gotta like build this first and then kind of like, walk you through the environment of it, not necessarily just it.
Put them in the gym, get them in the ring with you.
That's why I wanted to get him in there. Yeah, George is one of those guys that got in with me and put up a fight and then just kind of like really put him through it. Like it's VR, but I could push you. Like I could be in your face and I could push you physically in a virtual space. And so like
that's
that,
what players want with the proximity chat.
Yeah. Just like whispering in your ear, like right in your like nose to nose.
Just a virtual Coach Dave, like right up against the ear in VR.
That's it.
Just ASMR of little advice.
Exactly. All right, I got off track. Sorry. You're gonna meet David, not Coach Dave. Anyway, yeah, just the opposite relationship. I guess I just didn't think inward. I just didn't think all the things that I have to, all the ways I would have to modify my conversation to talk to someone that has zero fighting experience. Like I know how to I know how to talk about this. Now I'm like talking to someone that's not even interested in like they didn't show up to boxing class. They're not here for a free trial class. They're not watching boxing. They're working on a game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that threw me off. But we're okay now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think that was one of the most original answers that we have gotten, actually. So thank you so much for sharing that. And
you hear that, Tren?
Every guest
Who's
is
the real
special.
winner?
We cannot choose.
I'm better. That's what I heard. I heard I'm way better than Tren is what I heard. I'm sorry. I'll
And
spread
that's
the
now in the
rumors.
transcript. So
Yeah.
Put it in the show
Yeah,
notes.
If you want those bragging rights in compensation for missing the fake comments, I will gladly give them to you.
Why you brought it
completely
up
fine.
again? I'm hurt.
And congratulations, because you have reached the the end of the podcast. You have gotten through all of the questions safely and punctually, safely.
Nice. I'm happy I made it out
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us and for sharing your point of view. And to everyone listening, of course, we have said this multiple times during the podcast, but go to the Thrill of the Fight 2 official channel and see the kind of content that Dave puts out there, because it's made with a lot of passion and a lot of love. I would even dare say, even if it sounds a bit cheesy. So yeah, thank you.
That's all right. I feel like cheesy is the name of the game on this show some days. Yeah, no, thanks so much, Dave. Before we do our usual outro spiel, did you have anything you want to say to the listeners, or just any last words?
No, I think if you're someone that maybe has made it this far in, which is insane, you made it this far in, so you're at least interested. And if you haven't tried,
be a two-part then.
yeah, but if you haven't tried Thrill of the Fight 2 yet, like outside of like the sales portion, outside of me working for the game, outside of you guys working for Halfbrick, outside of all that, like genuinely give it a shot. And and I say that from like the bottom of my heart, because I genuinely want you to like give it a shot, because I know the benefits that'll come from it. Just try it out, and let me know.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. Sorry, Tren.
You're still welcome to come and defend your title, by the way.
Of course,
I should have stopped.
we'll get you both back on sometime.
Yeah,
right?
we should, yeah.
Some kind of follow-up after we've done the Zero the Hero Halfbrick employee thing as well, and we just take, it just becomes an absolute slugfest in the Halfbrick Show for a Thrill of Fight content.
I can't wait.
I think
Just a bunch of huffing and puffing, and yeah, we'll be okay.
Yeah, for the audio-only listeners, that would be an interesting
Just
sell.
we'll have chapters, just breathing for 4 minutes. It would be labeled breathing.
Transcript: Dave breathes, Aiden breathes, Carmen breathes.
Somebody has asthma from 7 minutes to 9 minutes.
You can just figure out which ones, like the transcript's just like, this is clearly Aiden, he's very exhausted. Like, subtitles.
Dave keeps on telling him to get up.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, no, but if you guys, if you'd love to see that from the show perspective as well, we've got our own email address, theshow@halfbrick.com. You can send us suggestions if you want to see those fights or that series, ideas, feedback, suggestions, whatever. Shoot that through, and we love trying to just make whatever we can get away with on the Halfbrick Show. So yeah, thanks so much for all that, and thanks again, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And as always, we hope that this has been an episode that you can look back on with nostalgia. And thank you so much for joining us yet again for this week's episode of the Halfbrick Show.